Good morning to my dear colleague and our chief guest in the room, and those are virtually connected. I heartily welcome you all for today's webinar on challenges faced by students in career opportunities during COVID 19 by young and eminent personality Ms. CA Divya Abhishek. Recently, the ILO report talks of the risk of a lockdown generation, implying a long lasting fall in employment. The coronavirus outbreak has taken an unexpected hit to many industries around the world. Some saw sales go up, others experienced a huge fall. Many non essential businesses were forced to close. But what does this mean for graduates? Is the chosen industry still hiring them? Will you be working? What issues are different sectors currently facing hiring? And what does the future looks like for them? Like this, there are so many questions and confusions to our experts. I believe this webinar discussion can come up to a brainstorming conclusion and guideline to follow and prepare ourselves to face after lockdown scenario. So let's proceed further. To welcome officially everyone, I request our principal, Dr. welcome address. Sir,
Good morning to one and all. Respected our President, Sri Chandra Prabhu Jain College. Respected Secretary Sir, Sri Chandra Prabhu Jain College. Respected our advisors Sir, respected Vice Principal Ma'am, and all my colleagues and dear friends and students. It gives immense pleasure to me on behalf of our BG Department of Commerce. We cordially invite and we cordially welcome the Chartered Accountant Ma'am, who is with us, CBA, who is going to give a very elaborate lecture today about what are the career opportunities available in COVID-19 scenario. So it gives immense pleasure to me in welcoming our advisors for this wonderful program, for giving this presidential. I also cordially welcome all the department heads, those who are watching this, both online and as well as offline. And those who are witnessing this program is going to be highly benefited because of what are the career opportunities are available in this COVID-19 scenario. So what are the opportunities are there and what are the shortcomings are also. Both ma'am is going to discuss today. And with these viewers, I hand over this session back to Mr. Sudha ma'am for the process. Thank you very much to all.
thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Privilege. Happy to welcome you all and even the special guests. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome you all. So there is a really here. A single conversation is better than 10. Yes, it's true to my knowledge and experience. Today we have fortune to have a man like that. Yes, our beloved principal advisor, sir, Dr. D. Amarchand sir, with us. I request him to share his views as a presidential address. Amarchand sir.
Good morning to everyone. I'm happy to associate myself with this webinar. I thank the college management, principal, and the organizer of this program, Sujata and Ms. Sudha and others, for giving me this opportunity. This is an introductory remark. Well, by way of introduction, I will say only a few words. Number one, I'm very happy and impressed with the qualifications of the speaker, her academic and professional qualifications. And I hope she is going to share the experiences of some of the students who have suffered during the COVID period in finding jobs or finding a career. This is what I understood from the title given. And I would like to add only one thing. The difficulties faced by other students elsewhere, let us say in a city college, maybe something, the students of the Jain College at Minjur have some more additional problems with them. Many of them don't have the internet connectivity, and with their small Android phone, sometimes they are not able to even up, let us say, pay the uh, debt fee because shops are closed, they don't have any other access. And they are in a totally different world. You should not think of the entire country or even the entire state. The life is limited between Central Station and Gummidi Bundi. Small villages, small places. They have to be told many things. Number one, even language is a problem for them. There may be career opportunities, and you need a little bit of English and a good amount of training in many of these things. Well, they have missed many of these things during this period, and I hope they will be refreshing themselves with all these things and will be able to uh, find new career opportunities in the days to come. With this, I request our chief guest to go ahead and give her best for the benefit of our students, sometimes possibly our teachers also. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We always try to do best for our own efforts and to even to developing us as well as the students from our college around, sir. Thank you, sir. It's time to know about our college through a small clipping. I request our PRO to play the clipping. Balaji, sir. I always feel proud to be alumni as well as a teacher in our college whenever I see this video. Well, the woman who does not require validation from anyone is the most feared individual on the planet. It is a very good quote. Well, our chief guest also one such woman. In spite of the quote, it's our privilege to describe her profile in a short. For that, I request Dr. N. Sujata, Vice Principal and Head of PG Commerce, to brief Chief Guest profile. Suja ma'am.
Thank you, Sudha. Very good day to everyone present here. Warm welcome to all of you on behalf of the PG Department of Commerce, Sri Chandraprabhu Jain College. It's my honor and privilege to introduce the chief guest of the day today, the young and energetic lady who is going to be the role model for this, our SCP Jain College students, as well as all the students, those who are watching today, the youngsters mainly. CA.DIVYA Abhishek has acquired a Bachelor degree of Commerce from the University of Madras and the fellow member of ICAI, and associate member of ICSI, and then associate member of Cost Accounts of India. She is a graduate of Law too. She has acquired 46th rank in the Chartered Accountancy in the final examination and 23rd rank in the Company Secretaryship examination, and also she secured 4th rank in the International Taxation examination conducted by UK. She has acquired in the proficiency test for independent directors conducted by the Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs. Madam has completed a diploma in International Financial Reporting Standards with Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, London, and Advanced Diploma in International Taxation with UK, and also obtained a certification in International Law, Tax Law, and Transfer Pricing from Leiden University, Netherlands. She is also consistent topper from her in her school till +2 standard. She is basically from the Vidya Mandir school. She did her articleship training with Ernest and Young in the audit assurance division. She has audited and consulted for listed companies, many multinational companies, private companies, and other forms of organizations too. Madam has addressed more than 800 conferences, seminars, workshops, and organized by various bodies of universities, colleges, and Chamber of Commerce. She also co-authored a book on income tax, ready reference, which is well accepted in the professional and the academic circles. She also held various positions in the SIRC of ICAI. I'm going to read out only a few positions because of a shortage of time. Madam has distinction of being the first secretary, business development and trade relations to the Honorary Council of Zambia in South India. She has been elected as the treasurer for Federation of Indian Commerce and Industry for Women for the 2019-20 and the year 2020-21. She is also a advisory committee member as well as the board of studies member in the various Jain college in the city. She is also a treasurer for the Inner Wheel Club of Madras Next Gen for the years 2015 and 16 and 17. She has been a secretary for Women Empowerment Forum of India. So apart from the formal, and she has acquired many degrees, as you have already witnessed through the invitation and the introductory remarks. She also a social activist, actively involving her in career counseling for rural women, and she organizes various awareness program and fundraising program for women self-help groups to help them sustain independently by funding the project. CA.DIVYA Abhishek is a passionate woman social activist with focus on women empowerment. I have read only few credentials and achievements of Madam. Hence, we have a youngest professional to reach this milestone. Thank you very much, ma'am, for having accepted our invitation and going to give an inspirational speech to our young minds. Thank you once again, all of you.
Well, it's really, as our advisors have said, it's really appreciated and wonder when we see our brief of your profile, ma'am. Well, as our advisor mentioned, we really want you should be present in person in our campus. and inspire our students for higher education, like you, ma'am. So we really proud uh, to be a part of this webinar. It's time to hand over the session to you, ma'am. The session is all yours, Divya, ma'am.
Thank you. A very good morning to one and all present here. I'd like to convey my regard to all the faculty of SAP Jain College, Principal Nagajyoti sir, Vice Principal Sujata ma'am, Advisor Expert Amarchand sir, Priyanka ma'am, Master Ceremony Sudha ma'am. Definitely the kind of effort that the college has been taking towards upgradation of the students. In fact, when I was interacting with some teachers and the principal, I noticed the personal involvement they have in the development of all the children, which is definitely extremely appreciative worthy. And without further ado, I want to just get started with my presentation for today. I will share my screen. I hope all of you are able to see it. Friends, today's session is not going to... Are you able to see my screen, ma'am? Could you just confirm?
Yes, madam. Select the full screen option, madam.
Just a second, sir. Yes, sir. Are you able to see it?
No.
I just apologize. Just 1 minute. So friends, I'll just share my presentation, but I'll start speaking now. What I want to understand from all of you, today's session is going to be interactive because I truly believe the real learning comes only from interaction and understanding. How many of you feel because of Corona, the opportunities that are afforded to you today have reduced? Very often from my interactions with students today, I hear this many students saying that because of Corona, it is difficult for college students, the opportunities have reduced. You can just say yes or no on the chat box. We're going to have a very, very interactive session and learn together. And that's where I want all of us to sit back and understand. While the situation in which we are living today has transformed, there is no need for anybody to panic. What you need to remember, friends, this is the opportunity. In every adversity, there are going to be multiple opportunity. When we see Corona, the biggest opportunity that has come out is for the students, because today every big company, including your own college, is looking at you to understand how to use technology, what are the advancements, how to go about the process. So today you become the world leaders where you are young students, but do not worry that the opportunities that are afforded to you have been reduced. In fact, in my view, today the kind of opportunities that have come out because of Corona is going to be extremely beneficial for you. So today, over the course of this 1 hour session that I have, I'm going to try and cover most important aspect where you as students need to be prepared before you finish your college itself. Today, I see a lot of people saying their first year, second year, third year. Whenever we look at career, we assume only after we finish the college, only when we think about graduation, we have to worry about our career. I want to bust that myth and remind you, you can finish, but you can start today itself on what you need to do towards your career, for which many aspects are important. One is preparing towards it, knowing what you need to do. Second, understanding what are the options available to you, whether you need to study, whether you need to work, what are the different options. And third and most important is being certain of what you would like to do once you pass out. So with that, I want to ask you a quick question. The first start when I said as a student, even if you're a first year student, there is something you can do towards your career. What do you think? Please type in the chat box. What do you think today, assuming you are a first year student or assuming you're a second year student, you're yet to pass out from your college, what can you do towards your career? So I see a lot of people saying good morning to all of you. You can type, there is no right or wrong answer to the session. It is just for us to understand together that before you pass out of your college, before you think about work, job opportunity, what can you do today towards your career? So the one aspect that you should do before you even finish your course is going to be preparation of your resume. You might think this is a very, very basic aspect. Why are we speaking about it? Believe me, friends, today having a resume which tells you about you becomes your blueprint, especially in a virtual world wherein we are not even sure if we will physically go and speak to somebody at an interview. Having the right resume, which is not going to be a copy paste of somebody else's resume, preparing it correctly becomes extremely important. So whether you are a first year, second year, or third year student, you can, if you are serious about finding the right opportunity for you, is to sit down, prepare this resume. Now, in the event where you do not have a system, you do not have a computer, you do not have internet connection, don't let all these reasons stop you. It is immaterial. You do not need to depend on anything in order to prepare yourself towards your career. Sit today, write down a broad resume. Google is in your hand. Anybody with a phone will have Google on it. Understand and see what is the resume formats available. Start preparing your resume. Why do I say a resume is important? Now, I am sure all of you can see this car on the screen. All of us know it is Tata Nano. There's a huge hype towards it. It was just rupees 1 lakh. So, lot of expectations that people will buy it. However, the very poster you see on the screen has killed the entire car and the millions of amount spent on it. Why do I say so? The poster says world's cheapest car. Now, psychologically in India, when a person buys a car, it is culturally an esteem factor for him. So, when you call that car as the world's cheapest car, automatically there is no pride in owning a cheap car because it's assumed that people will think you are not well off. So, automatically, even though the car was good, even though there were some functionalities, it was as good as an i20, because of the way they marketed that car, that entire car was wiped off from the industry. So remember, friends, that is how important it is for you to build your resume. If you say something without thinking through, that is the blueprint when your potential employer, wherever you're going to apply. In fact, if you're going to do a professional course, take CSAs, you still have to do something called as articleship. If you're going to study further, you still need to give your profile. So unless you prepare it correctly, giving the right facts, it can make or break your entire career. And this cannot be done in a day. This cannot be done after you get your final marks. It should evolve over a period of time. I will share this presentation with your college so you can take tips. I've given you different tips of how you can make your resume in order to paucity of time. I won't be covering each and every point, but definitely when you sit and prepare a resume, keep in mind that one, it should be truthful. Two, it should be goal oriented. Because you might have a BCom, some other student might have a BCom. What is going to differentiate you? Which brings me to another very important point, friends. Now, for all those commerce graduates, you will have more time now, is it not? You're not traveling to your college. We're all at home during lockdown. Spend this time effectively. The minute you sit down and try to write your resume, you will realize how less you have done. That will be another motivational factor for you to do more. So, how can you do more? What are the different aspects one can do? One, most important, take up an internship. Today, in the virtual world, the world is your oyster. You do not need to look next to your house who's having an office. You can apply anywhere. Application for an internship is a must. Before you finish your college, try and get a small internship. Nobody will say no to someone who's asking for an internship job because one, they do not need to pay you. Two, you will be a useful hand for them during these difficult times. But what is it in it for you? The biggest opportunity to learn and succeed. So definitely, I urge all of you, before you get into your third year, try and do one internship anywhere. Another gain that you will get from doing these internships is you might assume I want to do chartered accountancy. I love accounting. You would have studied it in depth, it would have really interested you. But let us take a scenario, you go to a chartered accountancy firm, do a small 1 month internship. You work very hard and you realize, maybe I do not enjoy it. So, unless you do an internship, you will not know. After you pay for a course, you cannot retract, my friends. But before you take that step forward, go to an office of your interest, apply for an internship. I will also take you through how you can apply into these firms and what you can do. I have a quick question for all of you. When I said resume, do you think one person should have only one resume or one person can have multiple resumes? What do you think is the right answer? So let us take a scenario. I see some Ajit Kumar saying hi. So you go today after this session, you prepare a resume. Whether you prepare only one resume or for you prepare 4-5 resumes. What is the right answer, friends? I'm going to quickly give you all 1 minute to just say one or many as a response. So I see some answers coming in. Friends, please keep in mind, there is a notion that one person can have only one resume, but that is not the case. One student can have many resumes. Why do I say so? Vignesh is saying one. Lot of answers are coming in. The reason is, friends, we assume that each person will have only one interest. Now, there can be a scenario where Satya likes accounting, same Satya, extremely creative, draws very well, also does marketing. Now, in this scenario, your resume for accounting should have skill sets such as knows Excel, knows basics of Tally, finished BCom degree. But your resume for marketing, all this will be pointless. Nobody in the marketing industry wants you to know Tally, friends. So please remember, one person can take multiple internships, one person can apply for many different jobs. Thereby, as a student, you can have different resumes according to your area of interest. So preparing the right resume with the right wording is important. Knowing what job you're applying for, it cannot be a scenario where you copy from a senior, go circulate it to all the firms. It does not work that way. What you need to remember, before a person even sees your face, the resume will go into their table. So making that resume correctly, making it impressive is very, very important. How many of you recognize this logo that I've shown you on the screen? Which logo is this? Friends, this is the logo of LinkedIn. Especially in the virtual world, when I'm aware that all of you are part of Facebook, Instagram, extremely active on social media, while all of you have correctly answered that it is LinkedIn, how many of you have created a profile on LinkedIn? How many of you open LinkedIn as many times as you open Facebook? That is where you will make a difference. LinkedIn is one of the largest bodies where you can apply for jobs, apply for internship. More than 30,000 million firms are there in LinkedIn. So I urge all of you to be updated with the changing times. You can no longer give reasons. My phone doesn't have charge, internet is not working, I don't have a system. In today's world, you do not need anything to put yourself out there. Definitely have a LinkedIn profile. Take it as seriously as your WhatsApp and your other social media. Understand, the minute you go into different companies, you will understand what they are doing. I told you at the start, you need to do internship. And some of you will ask me, ma'am, how do I know where to go to? How can I go apply? LinkedIn is one place. Naukri.com is another. Multiple websites online which will tell you what are the job opportunities afforded to you. Now, I quickly want to touch upon this story, which is a true story that happened in ancient India. Today, it's a popular economic concept called the cobra effect. Now, what happened was in ancient Delhi, there was a ruler and his minister. Suddenly, there was an outbreak of snakes. More than 500 snakes were there. People were dying. The minister came and reported this to the ruler. The king said, "Whoever brings a snake, I will give 3 gold coins." Immediately, he put out his rule, very, very happy that he did this. Next day, dead snakes started coming to the king. He started giving out the gold coins. He was very, very happy with this decision. Now, this went on for 2 months, where suddenly the king found the gold coin sack was over. But still, people were bringing dead snakes. Still, they were coming in claiming the gold coins. So the king told the minister, "Please go check what happened. How come still there are more snakes when 500 gold coins are over?" The minister inquired, came back and told the king, "What happened is, because you announced a good price, many people started breeding, started growing these snakes in their house so that they can bring more dead snakes to you and earn gold coin easily." Now the king got very angry. So he passed another rule and said, "No more gold coins for anybody." The next 3 days, more than 2000 deaths happened. Why? Because the people who are growing or breeding the snakes didn't have any incentive. So they released them out in the open. So, friends, what started as a problem of 500 snakes became a death of 3000 people. And this is important for us because just like how the king took some decisions out of fear and panic, just like how the snake breeders, because something changed, they immediately did some opportunity and then that got wasted. We are living in those times where we feel because there is corona, everything has changed. There's so much fear. What is going to happen? What do we do? There is no jobs. I want all of you to remember, as graduates, the opportunities for you is always going to be aplenty. Whether corona, no corona, India has gone through multiple crises. This is not the first time. Economy has always bounced back. Especially during crisis, the opportunities afforded to young graduates is phenomenal because we believe that young minds can truly adapt, something that older generation might find difficult to do. So as students, don't panic, don't take decisions. If you are someone who wanted to study further, don't make a change just because corona happened. You assess, think correctly, weigh your options before you make a decisions. Having said that, for any graduate, you have 3 options when you look at career. One is you study further. Second is you find a job. Third is you start your own business. And we assume these are the only options. I want to introduce one more option where you can find a job plus you can also study further. So many courses, including the professional qualifications, which can be a distance education wherein you can start working, earn that money for your family, at the same time continue studying. They're all aware, unless there are exams, none of us sit back and study. So studying further definitely is always a good option. For commerce graduates, what we see on the screen are some options which you can use to study further. I keep using the word professional courses. That is nothing but your chartered accountancy, company secretary, cost accountancy. Why I emphasize on this, having done the course myself, what you learn, if you are someone who's interested in those lines, "Ma'am, how do I know if I'm interested?" Please Google. Everything is there at the palm of your finger. If you just put chartered accountancy, you will see what are the subjects that will come. These are professional bodies recognized by the government, wherein doing the course might be a struggle, but the minute you finish it, the kind of opportunity, salary expectancy, and learning, most importantly, is phenomenal. So, if you are someone who's interested in these aspects, blindly go take up the course. I always have 2, 3 questions that come in. Whether we have to finish college and take up the course, which is best, or directly do the course, or whether we need to do one more after BCom, we need to study MCom and then take up. Now, friends, there is no one shoe fit for all. For each of us, it is different. If you are someone who's very clear, this is what I want to do, if you have done that internship during college in these areas and feel this is the right fit for me, blindly take it up. Many advantages. One, the entry into these courses is at a very, very nominal cost. So anybody will be able to afford it. Exit is extremely costly. The reason is because clearing the exams is difficult. Why is it difficult? Because you need to put in hard work. You do not need to be a super brilliant person to finish any of the courses when you study further. By virtue of doing BCom itself in a very good college like yours, automatically you are eligible and qualified to finish these courses. Please remember, whatever you pick up, give it your best shot. That is the only mantra for success. Work 25 hours, 7 days. That extra hour is required, my friends. And this is the time where you are given an opportunity to not worry about too many aspects, but to focus on your career and education. Now, for those who are not interested in professional courses, other opportunities will be your MCom, doing an MBA, bank courses, financial planner, IRS, UPSC, and so on and so forth. I want to speak a little about MBA because I feel a lot of students are confused whether they need to do an MBA. In fact, sometimes when some students come and tell me, ma'am, my friend has done, so I also quickly want to finish an MBA. There is a social pressure I notice in doing your MBA, but please do not succumb to social pressure. You need to assess your personality before you try to do an MBA, whether in India, whether as a distance education or whether abroad, whatever you choose. You need to assess, are you someone who likes managing? Now, supposing in your college itself there is an event, are you someone who wants to take charge, take leadership of the event and do? If you innately have those kind of abilities which you enjoy, doing MBA is a right option. And when you say MBA, there are different specializations. So always choose wisely as to what you will truly enjoy doing. And if you are someone who's not sure, you don't want to do an MBA, you don't want to do professional courses, you don't want to do anything you are not sure, there is one such course, it's called Masters in Management or Finance, wherein when you do an MBA, you need to write a very competitive exam. If you have to go to IIM, IIT, it is CAT. If you go to other colleges, there's an entrance exam. Or if you want to go abroad, there's something called as GMAT that you need to finish. But when you take up Masters in Management of Finance, it pretty much covers similar to what an MBA will cover, but more towards finance-oriented aspects. The advantage here is it is a shorter course than an MBA. It is 1 to 1.5 years. You do not have an entrance exam per se. The education that you will get will advance your level of learning and your job opportunity, and the fees also is far lesser. So which one to pick is something that is going to be personal to you. I again reiterate, the options are aplenty, which I will take you through. But what you truly pick is something that you definitely need to do. Now, similar to India, you have opportunities abroad in terms of your professional courses. There's something called CPA, ACCA, CFA, and I would say you have to assess it purely based on where you see going. There is no funda in going abroad 1 year, coming back. I think all those dreams are good, but not necessarily required to be a good option towards your career. So, what is the first step to apply? How do I apply for a job? What do you think is going to be your first step to apply? And secondly, when you apply for a job, do you feel knowing English is extremely important? Do you think if you are someone who does not know too much English, it is going to be a big issue for you in getting that job? I think a lot of students feel that knowing English, speaking well is extremely important. Friends, I do not want you to feel that way. Please remember, it depends on the job you want to go to. Now, supposing you want to go for an accounting role, you want to go for a commerce role, for an industry, knowing English is inconsequential. As long as you know the subject, as long as you're aware of the industry, willing to put in the effort. So, whenever you feel you need to apply for a job, do not worry if you do not know English. Multiple times I've had students who have applied, come for interviews, who suddenly feel less confident because they do not know English very well. In my mind, it does not matter. If you are someone who is confident, who has done the research, who has studied what you're coming for, knows the work, this is where your resume should carry other options, your skills, which become important. So, language is definitely not a barrier. You do not need to waste time feeling that English is not good, what will I do, and all those smaller worries is not required. How do you select a job? Whether salary is only going to be the criteria, again, the answer is going to be no. Do not just look at a job if it has high salary. Many big leaders today, many bank heads started as the clerical role where they weren't paid more than 1,000 rupees a month. So when you look at selecting the job for you, apply where you have interest in the job. More importantly, a job where you will stay. You cannot go to a job thinking 3 months I will try, leave and go. That's where doing the internship will help. At the same time, don't just look at the salary component. That is something that will definitely grow. As commerce graduates, you will have multiple opportunities. In fact, anyone who finishes a bachelor's degree, the extent of opportunities that are there for you is a lot, because it is a very open-ended degree wherein you will get an expertise in all areas. So whether you are studying further or whether you are going to look at applying for jobs, the opportunity is plenty. What you as students need to remember towards your career is how you need to select on what is enough for you. Is doing only a bachelor's degree enough? Lot of confusion, lot of worry. People feel in today's world doing only one degree is not enough. I need 5 or 6. Again, the answer is no. Doing one degree, but finding out your interest and passion is way more important than doing 6, 7 degrees. Is BCom enough? Answer is definitely yes. So many opportunities for BCom graduates. You take digital marketing, especially during the times of Corona. Earlier, we used to see big billboards in every street, behind every bus. Today, even the biggest companies are only advertising on social media, newspapers. You know, the kind of advertising marketing itself has undergone a change. And this is a job where you cannot study for. It is a job where you can only learn based on experience. So if you are someone who likes marketing, who feels there is a thrill in it, definitely go apply. As an intern, you will start and you will succeed as you go. They do not look at your degree, they only look at your creativity. Another role that you can consider taking up right after graduation is a management consultant in the areas that you see on the screen of your interest, whether human resource, finance, operations, based on what you think you will be interested in. There is no specific skill set required for a management consultant. Every company, every industry requires one. So this is also something that you will learn on the go, and the kind of salary as well is extremely promising when you become a management consultant. So please keep in mind, friends, when you start off today, you will start at an internship level only. Do not look at that 5,000 rupees and think it is not enough. If you stick around long enough, if you are good at it, in fact, many interns have come to my office, and I always look at those interns who do not see the clock and work, who sit at 6:30, 7 p.m., ask me, please give me more work, ma'am, I want to learn. Now, those are the people that always succeed. So you should be a hard worker, you should burn your midnight oil. Don't just look at few aspects of your job. Always remember that it is important. I'm sure all of you see the screen, Make in India. It's very, very popular. Why I've put this here today? There is a common notion that if you have to become something big, you need to go abroad and study. Common notion that if you're doing a good MBA, you need to go abroad. I want to throw light into the fact that in India itself, including your own college, the courses that you learn, whether abroad or India, are very, very similar. So how you look at it is also important. The kind of opportunities, roles that you will have as a graduate is phenomenal, especially in the commerce industry, because it is very unique to India. Now, every shop, every building in your road will require someone in finance to guide them. So your role can never become redundant. Whether in India or abroad, that can never be a factor of consideration. So what you need to choose is what you want to major in, and then you can decide where you want to major in, whether India or outside India. If you see, the large salary expectations is very, very similar to what is being paid abroad if you are getting the right jobs for you. I quickly want to touch upon one more aspect when we talk about job application, which is going to be your college campus placement itself, wherein companies will come and help choose who they want to select. One aspect I notice, many candidates do not take campus placement seriously, and I want to remind you that is the best place for you to find a job. We always see other colleges, see other companies. We do not appreciate what comes to us. Friends, when a campus placement happens, there is one thing you need to do, just one word: prepare, prepare, prepare. Understand the process, understand from your college the opportunities. Nothing like getting placed through your college itself. Take it extremely seriously, prepare well for the interviews. Maybe through another session, I can cover this a little more in depth on how you should prepare for a campus placement. Any job you apply for, the process of that placement is going to be the same. I also hear this from students where they say, "Ma'am, I am sure I want to study more. I don't even want to think about a job." Do not go with that mindset. Whenever an opportunity presents itself readily to you, go and grab it with both hands. But for all you know, when you attend that interview, when you go for that job interview, you might be tempted to work. Give it a shot. Be as flexible as you can be. Take the basic etiquettes, be very professional about how you do it, and then finish your campus placement. Now, I know it's very, very close to lunchtime, so I do not want to tempt all of you by showing this, but I want to quickly cover a small thing that happened. In 2000s, what happened in India, this Cadbury dairy milk that you see, suddenly they found worms in this chocolate. There's a huge hue and cry at that point of time where everybody started blaming, because we know that this chocolate is something that small kids will also be eating. So because they found worms in North India, lot of fear started coming. People stopped buying this altogether. In a day, it almost went to the brink of shutdown. Now, 1 or 2 months later, they went into this analyze how these worms came up, where it was noticed that there was no fault in the chocolate, but the person who was storing the chocolate, his factory was not all right. But the damage was done for Cadbury as a brand. Everybody started associating it with worms and it being unsafe. So what did Cadbury do? Today we know, we are in 2021. I'm talking about something that happened 21 years ago. But this brand has survived. What did they do? Immediately, when this happened, they did two things. One, that golden foil that you see on the screen, you will get that only in India. So they introduced a golden foil to every chocolate, where they psychologically said nothing can enter into this foil, so it is safe. Two, they took Amitabh Bachchan. He was the face of India even at that point of time, who went with his granddaughter to every factory and distributed Cadbury to small kids who ate it. And they advertised this very, very widely. Then immediately people started assuming it is great, it is safe now, let us buy it. So just like how Cadbury brand revived itself from a small issue that happened, while they did not even change the taste of the chocolate, they did not do anything. They only introduced one more layer of wrapper. Second, they presented it very well to the world by using Amitabh Bachchan. Similarly, as students, you do not need to worry whether what you're studying will become useless. Whole world is changing, artificial intelligence is coming, whether BCom will be useful, whatever course you are doing. Friends, the basics of that is not going to change. But because we have corona that has come up, you can present yourself a little better. Just like how Cadbury added a layer of gold foil, you can also upgrade your skilling during this period of free time and empower yourselves. So continuing what you study is important, but upskilling yourself. What do I mean by upskilling? One is definitely digitization, friends. Now, I've also told you today, applying for jobs earlier, we used to go company to company, pass out resume. Today, you just need to send that company a message on LinkedIn, and you might even get an interview through that process. So be very, very adept with technology. Today, saying I do not use my phone, I do not know how technology works cannot be a reason. Whether you are an IT software engineer or whether you're going to take an accounting job, knowing technology is important. But the level of technology varies. If you are someone who's looking to go for a traditional commerce jobs, understand some traditional accounting softwares, how it works. Nobody is going to have time to teach you. So during your college hours, during this time is when you can upgrade your skill set on what you can use, how to use Word, how to use PowerPoint, how to use Excel. Very, very basic skills, but it is important to know. Second, in my view, this is very important for students. It's going to be taking up certificate courses. You might have some interest. There are more than 12 platforms that I've listed on the screen which provides free online courses. You do not even need to pay 1 rupee. You just need to go to the website, pick up a topic you like, and do those courses. This will definitely give you an insight into the different roles, what you can do, what are the opportunities. You might assume you want to do IT, you might assume you want to do secretarial work, but when you go through these courses, you might have a very different interest. So definitely undertake free courses over and above your college, extremely important. The last two aspects is going to be more specific skills. Now, if you're someone who likes public speaking, hone your skill. How do you do it? You can tell me, ma'am, nobody's giving me an opportunity. You can create that opportunity. Go to YouTube, create your own page. You can do all of this through your phone itself. Create your own page, start uploading YouTube videos. If you like doing coding, go to somebody, say, I will do free of cost, learn it on the go. So, education, knowledge, and learning on the go is extremely important. Do not discount that. Whether you're going to earn or not as a student is not going to matter as much as accumulating knowledge during this period of time. The last option available to you is going to be being your own boss, which means you set up your own company, your own shop, your own store, and do your business. I always encourage this option. Today, when you see large companies, take it Facebook, Uber, any company, it all was started as a college student, took some years, but definitely picked up. So if you are someone who has an idea which you want to capitalize, which is very different, which is going to solve a problem, definitely take it up. You do not need to consult anybody. You can simply go online, free websites are there, create it, see the response, and then take it forward. The worst scenario can be where it does not work out at all, but you will still be rich from the experience of learning through the process. But if you feel I can do this idea only if I invest 2 or 3 lakhs, which is going to be a big sum of money, then first think it through, do a beta version before you put in that money into the business, see how it is going. Because friends, what I want to remind you, earlier opening up shop was easy, paying that rent was easy because everybody used to buy only from shops. Today, everything has changed online, which is also going to be advantageous to you because you do not need to spend on rent, you do not need to spend on product. You only need to know how to use a profile and how to do it online. Multiple opportunities, multiple aspects are there. Always remember these 10 quotes that I really cherish of Abdul Kalam's, which resonates when we think about success. Always follow your dreams, inspire others, do well. Definitely do not worry that we are in very unprecedented times. It's going to be difficult for you. As a student, you have such a bright future. It is how you are going to use this opportunity and do further. During this point of time, I also want to say, just like how your college, it would have never thought that we will be doing this from home, that you'll be writing exams from home. But they've adapted within a span of 3 or 4 months on how to do this and how to make it happen. when a large institution like that itself has set an example to you, that should be your motivation to work hard, to adapt, and to succeed further in life. I want to conclude. I definitely like to thank the principal, vice principal, and Amachan sir for being there and for the patient listen. It has been an honor to speak to all of you here today. If you have any questions, I'll be more than willing to take it up. You can type it out in the chat box. Thank you so much to all. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ma'am, I have a question. Is it possible for our commerce students to undergo SAP, FICO accounting software and Oracle accounting software? Because all the things now it comes under cloud platforms. So which one is better and which one is easy for our students? Either Oracle is best or SAP is best.
Okay, that's actually an extremely valid question, sir. Most large organizations use either of these softwares only, but the more popular software that I see industry using, especially if you take automobile manufacturing and more manufacture oriented industries, is going to be your SAP. The service oriented industries use Oracle. But largely, sir, when we look at it, I think learning SAP is a very, very important skill set. I would think that is a huge opportunities for students to aspire for better jobs as well. And it is a much more complicated software in my view. So giving students a prior knowledge about it is a phenomenal idea from the college, and I would definitely think that would help them in the right direction.
Regarding this CA course, ma'am, CA course, because we are offering BCom here and we are offering a BCom corporate apprenticeship where they can very well go for 8 years. Is it possible for you to provide some study center for this our college, ma'am, for CA or JCS or ICWA or ICME?
Definitely, sir. It will be my pleasure to do that. I can definitely take the students through what subjects are there between each course and how they can make a right decision for themselves as well. Having said that, if you are a student who wants to look at this today, as sir has very rightly raised this question, you can go to the respective institute website. There is a tab that will say student, which will have all the information you need about each course. Any doubts you have, you can write it down and I can address that as a separate session in much more depth and detail.
That's a really fantastic session we had. Thank you very much.
Yes, as it, as
Thank you, ma'am. You have created a positive vibes and confidence to everyone in this pandemic situation, ma'am.
there is a question posted in the chat box, ma'am. Can you please able to read it?
Yeah, definitely. Talking about database, I know PostgreSQL. Can I get a job with that? I'm a BCA final student. So, Krish, I think if it's a specific company that you're looking at, you can go to the website, go to LinkedIn, apply for a job. In fact, this is a right time for you to apply for one as well. And if you are talking about data analytics or database management, that is also the skill of the hour. Like how I've told you about marketing today, data analytics is almost a separate department in every large organization because everything is data driven. So a great field to be in. But my advice to you is before you apply for the job, take up 2-3 free courses online, free certificate courses that will give you an extra edge over somebody else who's applying for the same job. Are there any other questions, ma'am?
Yes, there is one other question posted in the chat box, ma'am. Hi, ma'am. For BBA students, is there any opportunities to work in IT companies?
So, like I said, friends, I think in today's world, the worry is not about what undergraduate qualification that you have. The real crunch of how companies select you for a job is the experience that you have. So if you are someone who's interested in an IT industry in a role, you need to select what kind of role you want to apply for and acquire the necessary skill for it. How will you acquire the skill for it? How will you know? Please Google. Automatically, we say ideal candidate, multiple options will be thrown, multiple courses, short courses are there which you can learn and acquire from.
Any other question, Balaji sir? Yes, there is a question again posted from Krish ma'am. Can you able to read it?
I think he's just said that he's done certificate courses, which is good to know. That's excellent. So you definitely have the edge, and you can. So that's where I said making your resume is important. You need to include all of this so that the employer who's employing you is already aware of what skill set you have, and you have an edge over the others in the role.
Any other questions, Balaji sir?
No questions.
What is the secret of your success in CA, ma'am?
So I think, sir, a lot of people feel CA is very difficult. There's a general fear among students that you need multiple attempts to clear. I think when you do CA, it is just the ball game of how you train your mind to be. If you are someone who studies 18 hours a day, who has focused finishing a proper schedule for over a period of 4 months, you are assured to get a rank. So I tell a lot of people, when you take up CA, aim for the first rank. Don't aim to clear. When you aim to clear, you're aiming only at 60 marks. Automatically, you're only going to get 30 to 40 marks. But if you aim at 100 marks, automatically you will study. There's a general notion, if I study 20 hours, how did I not clear? It is not the number of hours, it is how you plan and do the course. Every subject comes for 100 marks. So prepare diligently. You cannot prepare like how we do for college or other courses where just 3 days before exam you study overnight. CA or any professional course is a long-term ball game, which means today you finish college, you have exactly 9 months to write your first set of exams. So you are already late, is what I will say. If you plan correctly, if you finish classes, study those 4 or 5 months extremely well with a plan of doing all subjects, then you will definitely clear. In fact, professional courses like CA are one of the courses where English does not matter at all. Whether you know whatever language is your mother tongue won't matter. What matters is preparation and learning the subject and performing in the exam hall. So I think only hard work is the only secret to success, friends. Don't go with someone who says just do revision paper, just study this, only these questions will come. You cannot predict the question paper. What you can do is sit down, work hard, and finish the course successfully. Because the minute you finish it, the world becomes your oyster. Every company will come to your house to ask you for a job. So preparing and doing that during that period without phone, without distraction, without getting deterred is very, very important. And I also want to highlight, some students feel they want to do 2-3 courses at the same time, just in case if one aspect they fail. I think whichever course you are picking up, you should not go with a just in case approach. You should think, this is the only attempt I have, this is the only time I can get first rank, then automatically you are assured to get that.
Ma'am, what is the formula or mantra you have followed, ma'am, to acquiring all these qualification, as well as how you have managed your time, ma'am? Time management.
I think time management becomes very easy when you are devoid of distractions. So when you stop seeing your phone, when you allot time, when you plan ahead, and when you work the hours, it automatically comes out. And the courses that we see, especially for commerce graduates, I've already said this during the session, you do not need to be super brilliant. You do not need to be a first ranker in your college or in your school. All you need with you is the right work ethic, and hard work. So automatically you will achieve your goal once you do that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, there is no questions. Shall we proceed, Suja ma'am, further?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Please proceed, ma'am.
Yeah.
Sudha, ma'am, please
Okay.
proceed.
Okay. Well, as our chief guest given a very beautiful, crispy, clear session, I really wanted to note a few of the points she mentioned. Build your resume. Yes, obviously we have to build our resume. Then only we know how much we done. That was a very noted point. Internship during the college. Yes, we always insist the students to go for internship during their project work. And LinkedIn profile. Our principal keep on insist even us to make the profile. So that was a very important point. Pursue higher education, especially professional courses. Yes, our students has to pick up the professional courses as their higher education. And the beautiful point was noted here is a language barrier. Definitely, because our college is cited in underprivileged area where students get fear about the language. In the class itself, they fear to talk to us. So definitely, language barrier is not a biggest issue for them to look over as a big point. That was a noted one. Be your own boss. Yes, we have to motivate them for more entrepreneurship. So all these points were beautifully mentioned by our chief guest. Although you may think you are too young to worry about your career future, it's important for all of you to start thinking about your life while you are in your first step of undergraduation itself. Keep in mind that it is never too late to start or change your career path. So it's really a very good, beautiful session. I really wanted to express the gratitude on behalf of organizing committee. I heartily thanks our chief guest, Ms. Divya Abhishek ma'am, for being this webinar guest speaker. Thank you, ma'am, and to our management members who always support us. Special thanks to our advisor, sir, who appeared as a guest role in today's webinar. Thank you, sir. And to our principal, who is inspire us and update us always. And thanks to our system manager, Balaji, sir, who always high-techy manager in all situation. Finally, I thank all my dear colleagues and beloved students and participants for their cooperation and active participation. Thank you all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
There is
Thank
a
you so much.
feedback link posted. Thank you, ma'am. There is a feedback link posted in the comment box. I request all the participants to fill it. The e-certification will be given to you through the email, posted email. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, thank